So price could come down there. Um, yeah, it's burning through this. It's just burning through that. So
Yeah, I think this shit gonna get hit.
uh, it's like, do I want to take it though? Kind of might. I don't know. This candle came in hella aggressive though.
Yeah, where it be like, shit be a little fucked up. But this shit definitely look good for sales.
Only issue that I have is that we have this 15-minute demand zone that's right up under it. But like I said, price can come up, then I'd be able to grab enough once I enter, and then once it gets to that level, I can take off most of my cons. But I want to see it come up and tap that bitch.
Fast.
So yeah, something like this now. So I'll set a limit now.
Stop filled.
All right. Tap in.
Yeah, it might still want to come up and actually like tap these EMAs for real.
Yeah, could. I guess I could have waited a little bit more, huh? I was a little bit rushed, maybe.
Yeah, but in hindsight though, like just looking at it, overall, like it looked like we gonna get a decent closure below the EMAs on the 30 minute. The only thing that I'd be concerned with is if we decide to come back to like retest those, which means we're gonna have to pull back up to like 962, which by that point I'm pretty sure you've been stopped out of the fucking entry. But yeah, if we come back to this 962 area, that would be like preferably where I would want to place my entry at. But we could, you know, based off how this 30 minute candle looking, we could just keep running, bro.
I hope so, shit.
Now that shit already close to filling out the wick of this candle, which is a good look. And if it do and close like that, then we gonna close damn near below this demand zone, which I would assume that the next candle gonna come in at least down to the London low.
Close like that. I need this bitch to keep dropping now. As soon as it make the wick, then I go break even or some shit.
Overall, it still look like a good setup.
We made the wick. Alright, there we go. I sold off most
Order
of my
filled.
contracts right there. And then I'm still up too though. Why the fuck is... I don't understand what's going on with that. Whatever though. Oh, that bitch melting. Melting in, fuck nigga.
Stop filled. Stop filled.
But it's still, I don't know. I don't be understanding this shit sometimes. It still got me in this trade, which don't make sense. But okay, like that's weird. But all right, whatever. It's still going. Fuck it.
Stop filled.
All right, so I'm up and I'm done for the day. We just took a dub. I don't know how much I made on that shit. Oh, I'm up 700 on the day now. So I was up 385 at first. So 700 minus 385. I just made 315 on that trade. So yeah, we good. All right. So now the trading session is over. We are up now $700 on the day. I did take some trades last night that got me up to 385, and then this trade right here ended up making a little bit over 300 as well. So yeah, nice little trade session or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I did think I was about to get stopped out. I was like super close to getting stopped out just because of where I had placed my entry. I feel like I could have waited a little bit before, but kind of want to just go over this real quick with y'all. So I'm gonna drag this other screen over for a second. All right, so basically, we're just gonna look at this really from a 5 minute and the 1 minute perspective, and so you can get a gauge of why I took this trade. Right, so coming into the session, I'm not looking to take anything until at least 8 a.m. But usually, even when I get on, I kind of want to wait a little bit just to see how price is forming, so I can see what's actually setting up. So when I was coming into the session, I seen that price was already in this area right here, and it looked like we was about to break out from this swing and then go down to take out these lows or whatever, right? However, like I said, I'm waiting before I take an entry, and then so once I got on the charts and I got settled and everything, I'm seeing there's two different scenarios that I would like to see play out. We go take out London highs, which is going to be indicated here at this swing high around what 4 in the morning, and then we have these London lows right here at 2 in the morning that could be taken out as well. So I wasn't sure exactly which way price was going to go, just based off the fact that we had already been so bullish. It's kind of hard to go against gold for sales or to take a short position because we are so bullish. But at the same time, that's another reason we are super bullish. So you could look at price being overextended. It kind of could go either way, right? So basically, I was just watching the chart and I wanted to see what stood out the most and just go off price action and then some that kind of go with went with my bias or my influence or whatever, right? So I had this 5 minute breakout zone, or you could say support set up right here. And I'm like, all right, if prices to come down into this area again and we get a breakout from here, then that would constitute as a breakout, right? However, I do see the 13 EMA here, and I seen that this candle right here closed above the 13. What I was seeing was we had this pin bar candle that showed that buyers were trying to step into the market and push price back up. So that let me know that, okay, anytime we get down here, likely we're going to be pushing back up, right? And then once we got to close above the 13 on a 5 minute EMA, usually seeing something like that and with gold, I would end up taking longs. But I was like, you know what, I'm just going to wait. For me to want to take longs, I would need to see price actually come up into like the 970 area, simply because it would like really give me a confirmation that we would be in this direction, and we could take out the London highs, and then I could likely move the trade to break even and just let it continue to get an extra profit, or I could just exit the trade there, right? So as I'm watching the trade play out, then we get this 820 candle that comes in, massive amount of volume, right? End up dropping down and engulfed like the last like 5 candles or so. And me seeing that, that's something that I talk about like whenever I want to see something scream at me, like price scream at me and tell me, hey, we're about to do this. So me seeing that candle, that kind of alerted me like, hey, we likely are about to go lower. Me seeing that, so I'm like, all right, cool. I want to likely be taking sales, because at that point, if price is coming down like that, and then we get a closure inside of the zone under this 1 minute zone, which I'm gonna drop down to for a second, we closed under the 13 EMA as well, and we failed to continue higher after trying to make a higher high. Likely price is going to come down and take out the London lows. Now, it looks like price is not playing out like that, but what I did see also, well, we can go to a 15-minute perspective as well now too, because from a 15-minute perspective, I seen that we had this demand zone. So that was a reason why I had my exit where it was. So also, a lot of times you hear people talk about you need to know your entry and exit points because your exit is just as important as your entry. That is very true. I could have made a little bit more if I held a little bit longer, but at the same time, there was no guarantee that price would continue lower. I would like to see it continue lower because the draw in my eyes would be the London low, but that's not always a guarantee, right? And seeing us come down like this, I'm like, all right, we're coming down into this 15-minute demand zone. However, I'm knowing that this zone is likely going to be a strong zone and likely hold, which it looked like it's doing right now. So price would have pushed up from there. So I would end up being stopped out of break even if I just let this trade run and try to let it run to the London lows. So that wouldn't work, right? And it actually probably would be able to take longs possibly, depending on how this play out. However, I dropped down to the 1 minute now, right? So I'm seeing that price is closing under this 1 minute demand zone that I had set, which is going to be indicated by the green box, right? So we got this green box that I drew up. This is going to be the 1 minute demand zone. Once I see price close, it broke through it, and then it closed inside of it, and this next candle started to come under as well. And my eyes, that's letting me know that, all right, cool, this demand zone is invalid. So I can go ahead and get rid of this zone because it doesn't really matter anymore, right? So once that happens, now I'm looking for anything that's going to give me a retrace, because at this point, price is telling me that we're about to go lower. I didn't want to enter on this candle exactly, so now I'm going to wait till this next candle come in. I'm expecting us to get a retrace off the 13 EMA on a 5 minute, and then we'll continue lower, and then I'll just drag my entry up, and then that way I'll get a better entry, and then price will flip and continue in my direction. So that's basically what I did and what you saw in the trade. So when price was coming up, after that 5 minute candle ended, I end up, which one, I think that was like the 825 candle, right? Let me see. Yeah, that's the 825 candle. So it was this candle right here, right? So price ended up coming up. It actually almost stopped me out, right? I end up just basically trailing it up for my entry, and then I got tapped into the trade. Price end up flipping and reversing off the 1 minute 13 EMA as well, and then we end up dropping. Now, what I did by mistake that I realized after the trade was over was I tried to actually close out 8 contracts and leave 2 running, but I end up adding 8 more contracts by accident. So I end up being in this trade all in 18 contracts by mistake, and I was wondering like, what the hell, like, why did they do that or whatever? I didn't understand that part because Tre.Trades still kind of like, I'm not gonna say Tre.Trades new to me, but it's some of the nuances and everything I still like be trying to figure out or whatever. But and I be learning daily, right? But yeah, it ended up adding me into more contracts. Luckily, I was already in profit and I was able to close it out. But yeah, I was meaning to close out 8 cons and leave 2 running. That's what I meant to do. But either way, it all worked out. And I ended up being up 800. I can also go over the trades that I took last night as well, right? So let's see. Coming into last night also, right? I ended up taking a total of 4 trades, but they were all like really quick scalps. So I'm not mad at the amount of trades I took. I had 1 break-even trade and then 3 wins, basically, but they were all like really small wins. So one win was like $95, the other one was $95, and then the last one was $200. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm up 385 on the night. I'm gonna go ahead and stop, and then we'll come in tomorrow and see what we can do. Because Friday I wasn't posted trade and I ended up trading anyway and ended up losing $600. And I was pretty upset with myself just because I shouldn't have been trading. I told myself not to. I just didn't follow my rules. So basically today I ended up making back what I lost from Friday or whatever. So the account is just like really basically right at above the buffer or whatever, right? But yeah, coming into last night's session, we had all-time highs, which is going to be indicated by the purple line. And we also had the previous day high as well right here, right? So it's probably around it was around like 8 p.m. or something like that that it went ahead and hit it. No, it was market open actually. So coming into the session, I seen this counter right here. This is going to be the market open counter, right? So when I seen the market open candle coming in, we immediately dropped down. And when I seen that, I'm like, all right, cool. If we immediately drop it down into structure, likely what's gonna happen is we're gonna get a reversal off this 13 MA. We're gonna push up and we're gonna take out the previous day high, which is already like 2 points away. Price did exactly that. I ended up taking an entry right above here once we broke out of this area, and I set it to break even. It tapped the previous day high. Would have been up like 200 off that trade. However, I didn't take any profit, and then it reversed and sold off. And I was like, all right, whatever, bro. So didn't end up making any money off that for real. And basically end up taking a short position because I was like, all right, we look like, no, did I take a short? Yeah, it looked like we was going to end up coming down based off the fact that we'd already taken out previous draw on liquidity. And so once that happened, I end up taking a sell position, end up making $95. And I was like, you know what, bro? All right, I'm going to go ahead and be done. But luckily, I did get out of that position because we did not continue lower like I thought we would. After taking out a draw, I'm expecting us to reverse at that point. But we didn't do that. And I thought we would come down here and take out these lows, and that didn't happen. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to be done. Then I'll come back at like 9 p.m. or something like that and see what else I'm seeing. So end up getting around this time. It's actually around 8. I didn't wait till 9 just because I think I had something to do. So it was like, all right, I'll get on the 8 because I know a lot of volume kicks in around that time as well. Like I said in previous videos, usually for gold, volume would kick in at the top of the hours at 8, 9, and then 10 p.m. is what I see. So coming in, I seen that we basically had this engulfing candle. I'm trying to make this quick, right? So a lot of the price action was just consolidating after we ran and made new all-time highs, right? So then we had a big consolidation of price action, and I was like, same thing I always say, just wait for something to tell you that we're likely about to sell off. When I seen this candle come in and engulf all these candles, I'm like, all right, cool. Likely we are going to sell off now, but I want to wait for us to come back up so I can catch a retest at this level and then short the position again. And so I ended up doing that and just caught a series of wins. I was trailing each trade as I took them and then end up getting out. The one that I ended up making 200 is one I held a little bit longer, but it really was that simple. It wasn't nothing crazy. So, yeah. Right above the buffer as of right now, up 700. If I click on the trades that was taken, just it's gonna show the winning trades or whatever. don't think it's gonna show from last night, maybe. I don't know if it'll show from last night. Yeah, you can see from last night as well. Total of 4 trades was taken. What they saying 5. I want to do that. Did I close out of one of my contracts? I'm not. I don't even remember. But either way, end up making 385, one break even trade, and then the rest were winners or whatever. So yeah. Outside of that, man, that's really all I got for this video. So until next time, on a better living.